Yeah. Welcome to each and every single person that's joining us online. If you're joining us on YouTube, welcome. If you're joining us on Facebook, welcome. Thank you for being a part of this conversation. Today, we're going to be talking about a topic that I hold dearly to my heart, and it is your purpose, searching for it and being lucky enough to find it. Yeah. So I'm not alone. My name is Lihle Shongwe, by the way. I'm not alone. I have a panelist, right? Rather, of supposed to be four, but we have two. The other two members cannot make it today. I'm just gonna ask our panel members to please just show their face, switch on your camera, let us see you, and I'm gonna ask you to please just introduce yourselves as you start, as you show your cameras. Let's start with the lady. Okay, let's see you guys. Right, coming through. Now we're waiting for the gentleman to show his. Right, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, can we start with the lady? Please just introduce yourself. Tell us who you are, where you're from, and why are you part of this panel?
Hi everyone, welcome everyone who's joining us live. Hi Lihle, hi Phumlani.
Hi, Azanda.
Um, my name is Azanda Shangase, and I am I'm many things. I'm many different things. I don't
Okay.
box myself in one place. I've
Mm-hmm.
learned, I've I've actually grown to learn that my purpose is found in me embracing the different parts of who I am. So
Mm-hmm.
I am a civil engineering technician by profession.
Mm-hmm.
I am a lecturer, civil engineering lecturer. I'm
Okay.
also an author. I'm a poet. I'm a writer.
Okay.
I'm also a mother.
Okay,
And of
Azanda,
course,
we see you.
yes, girl. I'm here. I'm here. Pumlani actually happens to be a friend of mine from way back in high school.
Oh,
So,
oh, nice, nice.
hey, Mbito, hey, Tembito. So, yeah, I'm a mother, I'm a daughter, I'm a child of God, and
Mhm.
I love life. I live and I love life, and I love this topic. The reason I'm here
Right.
is because um, I accepted the invitation because I realized
Hmm.
that, you know what, I'm mostly, since I'm also a business owner, I own Azanda's
Hmm.
Designs and Consulting,
Right.
where I do graphic designs, but I also do career coaching and I do career guidance for students since I'm in
Hmm.
the lecturing space.
Hmm.
So I've come to realize that me accepting this invitation really helped me to come out of the shell to say, okay, I can even speak about these topics in other spaces outside of the
Right.
classroom, and
Okay.
outside of
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
local
Yeah.
NPOs, because that's where I'm
Yeah.
usually, a speaker
Yeah.
or at churches, the smaller gatherings. But like online, it's
Mm.
like a platform. So I'm really
Right.
blessed. I'm honored. And
Hmm.
yeah, thank you for having me. Thought-provoking
Th-
convo.
yeah.
I'm
Thank
really
you for being
excited.
here, Azanda. Thank you. Thank you. Pumlani, please introduce yourself.
Um, Good day, everyone. My name is Mthembu. Um, yeah, I've got a family of four, just my wife and my two kids. Um,
Hmm.
in terms of profession, um, chemical engineer.
Hmm.
In terms of what I do at work, I work as a field operations manager for an elevator and escalator company.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, so. So I'm just in a bit of a noisy space, but I'll try and minimize the noise. Let me know if it's too much. So in terms of why am I here today? I mean,
Hmm.
a friend of mine or a church member of mine also told me about SYT and what happens and what they do,
Hmm.
and mostly it's the topics that get discussed around the table and sharing thoughts in terms of what we think and how we perceive life. So I said, look, the first time joining such an initiative,
Hmm.
so excited to be here. very importantly, and also to learn from the other panelists as well. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction that you guys gave us of yourselves, ne? So the reason why I hold this topic dearly to my heart is because, growing up, I'm not sure about you guys, but me growing up, I thought like you need to grow up, get a job, have a family, and then it's chai from there. And then I grew up, I got a job, and I was just like, this cannot be it. Hey, the waking up in the morning, you go to work, you come back, you wait for payday, the money comes, you pay your bills, and then the cycle starts all over again. I was just like, there's no way that we came to this earth just to do the same mundane thing over and over again. So let me ask you guys this question. What is purpose to you, and what does it mean to you? Anyone can start. Let's start with Azanda. Azanda, what is purpose to you, and what does it mean to you?
Okay. Purpose to me, it's it's mainly about firstly understanding your identity. So before you get into the whole purpose thing, for me, when I started my purpose journey, I defined
Mm-hmm.
it by saying, okay, Azanda, you have to know your purpose. You
Mm-hmm.
are a teenager, yes, but you have to know your purpose.
Mm-hmm.
What is your purpose in this world? Yes, okay, maybe tick one box. It's to live the way that my parents have taught me how to live and all of those things. But
Mm-hmm.
I went into a self-discovery journey, so to speak, where I
Mm-hmm.
realized that I have to ask someone else or something else. And I
Mm.
realized that, oh, okay, that someone else is outside of my mom and dad, outside of
Mm.
mom, cool, and, family and
Mm.
whoever. I'm like, okay, so I can't seek this purpose from friends because I
Mm.
tried. Then I was like, okay, how can I define it? And then I
Mm.
started going on this journey where, it's weird for me when I started defining it. I was like, I'm gonna start with this church, then I'm gonna go to this church. Okay, I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
start with this group of friends, then that group of
Mm.
friends.
Mm.
Until I think I was probably in my early 20s when I started realizing, okay, purpose is actually knowing
Mm.
who you are,
Mm-hmm.
knowing where you
Mm-hmm.
want to go, and knowing how you will fulfill
Ooh, I like that.
how you fulfill your purpose. How do you fulfill this
Mm-hmm.
thing that you want to fulfill? Because I felt like purpose is something that I had to fulfill. It's a
Right.
calling. I
Right.
defined it as that. I just said, Azanda, purpose is a calling.
It's a
What is it?
calling.
What is the voice you keep hearing
Right.
every day? What is that
Right.
calling? It's him. What is it saying to you? Is it
Mm.
saying, wake up and do this? Or
Mm.
is it saying nothing? Is it quiet?
Mm. Mm.
You know, it
Mm.
really provoked me to awaken the senses inside of me to say, yes, I know who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the daughter of Umablose and Mr. Shangase, yes.
Mm.
But outside of that, outside of being born Zulu, outside of being born Christian,
Right. Right.
what is this thing? What is God
Mm.
calling me? What is his
Mm.
name? Where should
Mm.
I be? How?
Mm.
How should I be? What do I
Mm.
do? What do I wake up and do
Mm.
every day?
Right.
And then
Yeah.
that's when that's when my actions, my reactions, my
Mm.
intentions started being different, to
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
my life. Because I realized that yeah, it's definitely things, or it's definitely thoughts that should be actioned out in a way that
Mm-hmm.
I can sit down and say, today I fulfilled my purpose. And then tomorrow I
Yeah.
wake up and think, what is my calling? And then end of
Yeah.
the day, I'm like, I fulfilled my purpose today. And so
Yeah.
on and so on and so on. So I started journaling a lot when I was young so that I
Mm-hmm.
can actually find my purpose. And as
Mm-hmm.
I was journaling, I realized that, hey, I'm finding a lot of my passions. I'm finding a lot of
Mm-hmm.
the things that I do for fun. So I
Mm-hmm.
started realizing that, oh, okay, I also have projects that I like. And then
Mm-hmm.
another part of me said, but this can't be it because my parents are expecting my purpose to be aligned with their profession. So I was
Mm.
like,
Mm.
now
Mm.
how do I tell all of this? Because
Mm.
my calling is more on, I'm more of the arts person. I'm more of the
Mm.
conversation with the poets,
Mm.
the drama,
Mm.
the but then now, a profession there, yo,
Mm.
it's clashing. It's clashing,
You're going
it's
off kilter now, hey?
yeah, yeah, no, it's
Mm.
not. I'm feeling it. I'm fulfilled when
Mm.
I'm in my purpose, when I'm in my
Right.
zone.
Yeah.
But family, us in the
Mm.
black family, in the black
Mm.
community. It's a bit of a
Mm.
thing to want to go to the art side. It's like, but that's how I actually defined it. I guess that's why, possibly, going back to my bio or my intro, part of who I am is that I'm not just a civil technician or a lecturer in civil engineering. That's the part of
Mm.
my profession, but I'm a graphic designer, you
Mm.
know. I was
Mm.
more linked to art. I'm a poet, I'm an author,
Mm.
you
Mm.
know. So
Mm.
yeah, purpose is mainly for me about
Mm.
the call, the voices, the thoughts that you keep on hearing that I
Mm.
believe God calling me.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that, Azanda. Mlani, what about you? What's purpose and what does it
Yeah,
mean to you?
yeah. Randa, you mentioned some very good points there in your discussion or your approach, and I like what you mentioned. Look, from my end, it might just be a bit short, but for me, the best is the why, basically.
Mm.
Why, and why. For me, that's
Mm.
what purpose is all about. Why do we do something? What's the intention about it? Up until you
Mm,
get an answer to it,
Mm.
I would say that one then still needs to find out what their purpose is. If you can't answer the why, um, for me, that's just tell you what it's centered around. It's the big one.
Mm.
Why do
Mm.
we do certain things? And most importantly, how are we supposed to get there? So for me,
Mm.
just trying to break it down, for any subscriber at home, is basically looking at where you are currently
Mhm.
and where you're going, why you want to go there, and most importantly, how you're going to get
Mm.
there. Those
Mm.
is that's what really defines purpose for me, other than the why. To say this is where I am, this is where I want to go, and this is how I'm going to do it. So that's what purpose is for me. Once you truly understand why we exist, either be professionally in a professional space or in spiritual realm or
Mm.
whatever you want to look at it, if we need to always answer the why. What's the
Mm.
reason behind?
Mm. Mm.
So that's what
Mm.
resonates with me when I talk about purpose.
Mm.
That's what it means. Yes.
Yeah. And you guys are mentioning like extremely valid points, right? The voice, the call, understanding your identity, and pretty much asking yourself, why am I here on earth? What is it that I'm supposed to do, right? And I think for
mm,
me, purpose is just basically that one thing that streamlines your life. Ne? So you have that, I mean, we're all multi-talented, some of us, and some of us have a lot of passions, right? And so, but you can't follow everything. That has to be that one thing that defines who you are. And then all your other passions are usually attached to that main thing that you are called to do, if I can put it that way, right? So for me, purpose is just that one thing that streamlines my life. And when it streamlines my life, then I'm able to say, okay, because this is what I meant to do here on earth, then I can now answer the where do I go? How do I get there? So on and so forth, right? And now this is what I want to ask you guys. How do you find your purpose and how did you guys find your purpose? There are some people who just, when they are young, they pretty much know this is what I want to do. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher and they're spot on, right? And then, like some of us like myself, I wanted to be a doctor and then this other time I saw a stretcher. I'm like, no, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I wanted to be a forensic scientist. I went
Mm.
on site. I saw pictures of crime scenes. I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And then I just, I was all over the place. So how did you guys get to a point where you were just like, you know what, right now, this is my purpose and I'm living it? Or are you still searching?
Look, maybe if I can jump in first, and one day you can
Mm-hmm.
come through. For me, again, it really comes from the questions that I've posed or the statements that I've made in terms,
Yeah.
where am I? Where do I want to be? Why do
Mm,
I want to go there? And obviously, how I'm going
mm,
to get there. So those are the things that really that are shaping my life in terms of purpose. To say, this is where
mm.
I am, and
Yeah.
this is what I want to do, and being
Mm,
able to answer why do I want to do it. So obviously, as you grow up, some things
mm.
we do because of the people that are around us, and
Right.
and
Yeah.
again, I would also look at our purpose is not solely driven by our lives, but it is also shaped by our
Mm.
environment, where we are, the
Okay.
people that
Okay.
surround us. They can either help you to realize what your purpose is.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's almost like a little bit of a trial and error. As you mentioned, you wanted to be a
Mm-hmm.
doctor because it looked like it was a good profession. Maybe it's a well-paying job, very
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling, whatever the case may be. But if you start going through and you really to say, look, is this really what I want to do? Is it
Mm.
really about money? Is it about me wearing a white
Mm-hmm.
coat and seeing patients and stuff like that? And that's really when
Mm-hmm.
you start exploring and knowing who we are. And again, it's almost like a self-realization for me to say it's a gradual process. You cannot wake up
Mm-hmm.
and say today this is my purpose.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is where I
Yeah.
want to go because again,
Yeah.
it's shaped by the environment that we're in. It's built by the people that surround us, by the things that we see, by our communities. To say, look,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live like this. I just
Mm.
a life just to go to work and get a salary and do the whole monotonous thing on a daily basis,
Mm-hmm.
or do I want to live better? And as you live progressively, you start identifying certain things around your life, what matters to you,
Mm.
what excites you, what you can do over a period of time without getting tired of doing certain things. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when you start realizing on passions. You say, look,
Mm.
I'm passionate about this. I want to
Mm.
do it. This is who I
Mm.
am. If I have to live like this every day of my life, I'll be excited. So
Right.
those are things that really have helped me in my journey. Again, I won't say I'm fully at a position or in a place where I say, hey, I know my purpose in life, because
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like, am I not limiting myself to what I've achieved? Because remember,
Yeah.
we first say, hey,
Yeah.
I want to be for example, I want to be a manager. I want to lead the biggest
Mm.
company. I want to do A, B, C, D. And you get
Mm.
there and you realize, is this really all that I want to do? Or is there more
Yeah.
out there for
Yeah.
me to do? Then
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
rediscovery,
Yeah.
but you already have a foundation to say, look, this is where I am, and this is
Right.
the direction you see that I want to take. So basically, yeah, that's just my focus on my end. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that, Pumlani. That's what I got from there is that it's a gradual process. That's what stood out for me, hey? Because I never really thought about it in that way. In my pursuit for purpose, I thought, God is gonna drop it like in a big box with a red bow in front of my door, and I'm just like, I'll open it and be like, oh, purpose, let's go. And that's not how it works, right? That's not okay. Azanda, what about you?
Yeah, that's true. I think at some points in my journey as well, Lihle, I
Mm,
was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up one day. I just know God is just gonna drop it, and I'm just gonna see it. I'm like, yay! And then I'll just have a vision, a clear one that just
mm,
shows me I'm supposed to do this and this. I mean, I guess you get to a point where in the pursuit or in the journey of purpose, you get frustrated. You get really,
mm,
really
yeah,
frustrated.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I really resonate as well with what Upumlani is saying because
Mm.
I'm not in the same position I was in when I was in my teens or
Right.
in my 20s.
Yeah.
So now that I'm in my 30s, I have this thing of my life has a
Mhm.
better foundation for my purpose as compared to
Right.
when I was younger. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit more wiser. I'm a little bit
Mhm.
more cautious, and I'm a little bit
Mhm.
more understanding that I need emotional intelligence in the journey of pursuing purpose. I
Mhm.
should not
Mhm.
always act on emotion. I should not
Right.
always act
Yeah. Yeah.
on the emotion of stubbornness. Sometimes in the
Yeah.
journey of purpose, we tell each other that get again, God, you do it. I'm
Mm.
sorry, just do it
Yeah.
fire, by force, by
Yeah.
fire.
Mm.
And and it's good. It's motivation. In the journey
Mm.
of purpose, you need motivation,
Yeah,
but
right.
it's
Right.
very important to have a very thin line of. I love this thing my friends and I used to do when I was in my 20s. All the friends I used to keep, I used to tell them that, guys, we need to be each other's sounding board,
Mhm.
meaning
Mhm.
bounce off each other and give each other
Mhm.
some advice so that we
Mhm.
can get the purpose of why we are doing what we are doing. And back
Mm.
then, I was involved in a lot of projects and initiatives with nonprofit organizations while
Mm.
pursuing in training, while doing projects in church, being involved in the
Mm.
church ministries. And honestly, for myself, I cannot say
Mhm.
I have found this is exactly my purpose, but I'm honestly believing that I'm on the right
Mm.
track to get to
Mm.
that point where I can stand and say, in a crowd,
Mm.
or a room full of people, wherever I
Mm.
could be, I could stand and tell people that, you know what, I know my purpose. I know why I'm doing.
Mm.
I
Mm.
know why I wake up every day and do this
Mm.
two things or this one thing that is so fulfilling, because that's the
Mm.
elements that we miss as a people. We
Yeah.
must understand that we need to feel fulfilled in the
Right.
purpose.
Yes. Yes.
Not just about I know my call. I've heard my call. I'm supposed to be a teacher. I'm a teacher.
Mm.
You wake up every day and you teach. Just making an example. You wake up every
Mm.
day and you teach. No. It's similar to what I always have a conversation with my colleagues to say, yes, we are in the lecturing space and all that, but
Mm.
we have to, if this is your call, if it's truly your call, you have to be fulfilled in it. Then you will actually get direction, a better sense of direction in your purpose
Mhm.
to say, hey, I'm fulfilled. I
Mm.
wake up every day and I love giving
Mm.
knowledge to students. I love changing
Mm.
their lives for the better. I love it when I
Mm.
see them graduate. I love it.
Mm.
I love when I see them get in service training. I love it to see them managers, even though I'm not a manager, you
Mm.
know, because I've been in
Mhm.
this space for about 10 years. So you can imagine that
Mm.
that I have to get to a point where I realize that, but that's not my purpose. It's someone else's
Right.
purpose. Let
Right.
let go of all the other things you hear around you. Focus on myself. What is my purpose?
Mm.
What keeps me
Mm.
fulfilled? What keeps me
Right.
happy? You know,
Right.
and
Right.
one or a small part of the foundation of my purpose, I've realized
Mm.
that part of my purpose, a huge chunk of my purpose, is that
Mm.
I must speak to make change. I
Right.
must
Right.
make change. So I
Mhm.
have to use the little knowledge, the little wisdom, the little understanding I've gained in the
Mhm.
short period of time of my life to make the
Mhm.
change in whomever that I see,
Mhm. Mm.
whoever that I
Mm.
speak to, whomever that I
Mhm.
touch. And
Mhm.
in the journey, it's actually not spoken about as often to say in
Mhm.
that journey to say, oh, but I think I've gotten somewhere there. People do not say that it's very, very difficult
Mm.
to come to a position where you say, I found my purpose in life. It's difficult to get there,
Mm.
mainly
It's
because there's
difficult. Yeah.
obstacles on the way.
Yeah.
There's obstacles
Yeah.
on the way. And the obstacles
Mm.
are not nice. There's rejection. I
Mm.
think years
Mm.
ago, around 2010, 2011, I've had a conversation with Phumlani where
Mm.
I was struggling with rejection. I was like, but why? Why am
Mm.
I rejected everywhere? And today, I don't care
Mm.
if I'm rejected. I don't care if
Mm.
I can speak in a room full of CEOs the
Mm.
biggest of the biggest, and say
Mm.
my presentation and talk about my
Mm.
topic, whatever the topic
Mm.
I'm, and I wouldn't care that 9 of them would reject me out of the 10.
Mm. Mm.
I wouldn't care.
Mm.
I honestly
Mm.
wouldn't. It
Mm.
wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't sit down and cry and, oh, why is this happening to me? Oh.
Mm.
So that's the upside of being of sorry, going through that rejection, is that today,
Mm.
now 2010 and today, it's like years
Mm.
later, I,
Mm.
I
Mm.
I'm no longer in that space. But
Right.
I
Right.
won't also say that, oh, I've definitely found it. I've found the whole thing, you know. It's told, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, I found the whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all
Yeah.
still
Yeah.
pressing
Yeah.
towards the mark of the high calling. You know,
Right.
we keep
Yeah.
pressing on, we
Yeah.
keep pressing on.
Yeah.
You know, with the faith, obviously, with the understanding, with, the little
Mm-hmm.
understanding of knowledge, application, execution
Mm.
of different,
Mm.
I'd get to your purpose. But
Mm.
it's doable. That's for sure.
Mm.
Because I
Mm.
realized that, hey, if I can know and I can realize that, hey, my purpose is to actually speak to certain groups of people and not be
Mm.
afraid, be confident,
Mm.
whether it's
Mm.
physical, whether it's online, wherever it is, then I
Yeah.
mean, I can do anything. I can get to that purpose. I'm not gonna limit myself.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. You know, I think everything is a process, ne? Because if you think about it, let's say a child decides that, you know what, I want to be a doctor one day, and the whole purpose is just to be that, right? It's not like the minute you discover your purpose, then you step into it right away. Right. So if a child says at the age of 8, I want to be a doctor and I'm going to be a doctor, there's still a process that they need to follow, right? You need to go to school, you need to go to university, you need to practice, and then you become a doctor. Ne? So I thought that, you know what, as soon as I get my purpose, I know I'll be well within. And that's not the case, right? And unfortunately for me, what is my purpose now is what I struggled with when I was growing up. I couldn't articulate myself to save my life, right? I struggled with that internally. I would know exactly what to say and how to say it, but then now when it comes to saying it, I'm just like, I'd stumble over my words. I'd get nervous, my voice would crack, and I would just stop altogether, right? Then one day I'm searching for my purpose, and a friend of mine was just like, you're actually kind of doing it every day, but you just don't know, right? And then obviously I prayed about it, and God was just like, yeah, you're doing it every day and you kind of don't know. So even if I was doing it every day, there's still a process that I have to follow in order for it to be a full-blown thing in which I live in, right? And I think one of the things that Phumlani mentioned was it's a gradual process, right? And then Azanda said that you are not in the same position as you were before. So take me through the moments where you were like, okay, now that I am on my way to my purpose, or now that I've found my purpose, this is the kind of impact that finding my purpose has had in my life and in those people around me, right? Because I believe that purpose is not just for you to say, okay, I woke up in the morning, I teached a few people, and as in I'm good. It's not really about you, but it's about the other people that you're going to impact. So tell me, how has your purpose, or finding your purpose, or going on your way to purpose, impacted your life and improved basically the way you live your life, the quality of your life, if you can put it that way. Pumlani, you can start for us.
Okay. It's a bit of a tricky question for me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
In the sense that we can look at purpose in a single dimension. To
Mm-hmm.
say your purpose is to, or my purpose is to be a businessman, and leave the softer part of the purpose, if you know what I mean. You
Mm.
may have multiple purposes in your life.
Right. Right.
Where if we, for example, I just backtrack a little bit. There was this guy who was a doctor from different to give us. This guy was a medical doctor, and now he runs this non-profit organization helping people.
Mm.
You know, we
Mm.
can.
Phumlani, I'm struggling to hear you. Can you guys hear him? We can see you talking there, but
We've lost your audio, Phumlani.
okay, you muted now. Okay, you can go so long, Azanda. How has you going on your way to your purpose and finding your purpose impacted your life and everyone around you?
Wow, for me, this is a
Mm-hmm.
big question. It's a really big question, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
so glad. I'm never afraid or scared to share it, even with the people around me. And you
Right.
know,
Yeah. Yeah.
growing up, I wasn't as
Mm.
articulate. It's crazy that you said it. I wasn't as
Mm.
articulate. I wasn't
Mm.
confident, but I love to push myself to be in that space. So I
Yeah.
kept, like, from a young age, primary school, high school, I kept being
Mm.
in you know poetry competitions, in arts
Mm.
competitions, in a drama, in
Just to
a
cut you, you know what I
sitcom.
did? I was in Toastmasters and I used to win best speech and whatnot. But in a conversation with people, I'm not there. I'm not
Yes.
there.
Oh, like, I promise you, like, my friends can vouch for
Yeah.
me, those who know me.
Mm.
I was
Mm.
like the white girl in the corner alone.
Yes.
In
Yeah.
academia, it's like, oh, she won a prize. Oh, no, no, no. Azanda
Mm.
Shangase. I'm standing
Mm.
up, and everyone's like, who is this girl? Like,
Yeah.
really? She doesn't even talk to
Yeah.
anyone. You
Yeah.
know? And as I grew up, I went into my teens, I
Mm.
went into college, started, striking conversations with people. I was like, hey,
Right.
it's not so
Yeah.
bad.
Uh-huh.
It's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in my adulthood and now working, I
Mm.
started to really see that, wow, I am impacting a lot
Mm.
of people. I think my eye was really opened when I was in different ministries in church, when I
Mm.
was assigned different duties when I'm at home,
Mm.
like in my father's homestead or in my mother's homestead. And I started realizing that, hey,
Mm.
I can actually, say something, and it's important, and outside of school.
Mm.
I was like, oh, okay,
Mm.
so not
Mm.
only in school, I'm also impacting
Mm.
people outside. So the more I push myself and push myself
Mm.
to speak and
Mm-hmm.
to do certain things, that's when people impacted by the words I put,
Mm.
speaking engagements,
Yeah. Yeah.
giving advice, giving
Right.
counseling sometimes, not on a
Yeah.
professional scale, but I'm really more for mental health advocates as well, especially
Mm-hmm.
in the different places I'm at. So as much as I
Mm-hmm.
can talk about business, I can talk about home life,
Mm.
ministry life, all of that. I'm also,
Mm.
like, very cognizant that you need to have a balanced mind when you're doing
Right.
all of these different things as a
Right.
person.
Right.
So that's
Right.
the
Yeah.
impact that I've seen. I even
Mm.
tell people, they even tell me, hey, Azanda, but you did tell me I should go and see this counselor.
Mm.
And I'm so
Right.
happy. I'm so blessed. I'm so glad every time when I
Mm.
see a lot of my friends taking the route to go to see a counselor or a
Mm.
psychologist,
Mm.
because I even tell
Mm.
them, guys, I have seen a psychologist, I have seen a counselor. I was fortunate enough that I went to sessions with a counselor, and it changed my life, changed the
Mm.
perspective I had about
Right.
these
Right.
problems I was facing, because
Yeah.
I always tell my friends, um, I had a conversation like this with my partner. We always tell each other this, that the
Mm.
brain is also um, a the brain is also a tool, or the brain is also an organ that needs you to take care of it. You don't
Right.
only take care
Yeah.
of your body. You don't only take care of
Yeah.
your heart. You don't only
Yeah.
take care of your mom, your dad, your family,
Mm.
your husband, wife, whoever, but you must also take care of your brain.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
me in my journey of in pursuit of my purpose, I realized that the
Mm.
impact has been quite positive. It's very,
Mm.
very few people, or very, very few people, that I'd see that the feedback would be like, I don't want to do that. No, it's not,
Yeah.
no, not my way.
Mm.
It's not.
Mm.
Like, okay, it's cool. It's cool, my darling. I was
Mm.
just saying
Mm.
this because with the experience I have, I'm exposed to too many people. And I always
Mm,
tell people, use that to advantage. Ask me. Use that to
mm,
advantage. Ask me
mm,
anything. Ask me anything. I'll
mm,
take it. I'll bounce it off someone else who knows. I know people of
mm,
different professions. You know, I
mm.
may not know the highest of high professions like doctors of this and that caliber. No, but
Right.
the people that I live with around me, they would
Mm-hmm.
need certain advice about certain
Mm-hmm.
topics. For example, in academia, you know,
Mm-hmm.
how
Mm-hmm.
how will my child survive in university? I can
Mm-hmm.
explain that to them. I can tell them university
Mm,
life what it's like, you know.
mm,
Another person would be like, I have a child with a disability and
mhm,
they're 15 years old. How will they even get a job? You know,
mm,
I know
mm,
about that. I can tell you because
mm,
I've helped someone to actually go and find a school that will help that
mm,
particular child. You know,
mhm,
I have a child
mhm,
who's not good in maths and science. Can I get a tutor? And I'm in
mm,
Maritzburg. Yes, I can get you a tutor for maths and science. I can get you a
mhm,
tutor for, if I can't get you a tutor, this individual can get, you know, it's very
mhm,
important for me that I build my network of people, keep the
mhm,
relationships I have, so that in my purpose, I'm able to help all of these different people. And I
mhm,
feel so fulfilled. I don't even get a
mhm,
cent, I don't even get a dollar, even though I know
mm,
that there are people who actually build networks and do all of these things and they actually get
mhm,
money, you know,
mhm,
they have businesses. There's so many of them, you know,
mhm.
and all of it. Just for me, it makes sense in that way. Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you for that, Azanda. Thank you for that. Pumlani, you back? Can you hear us?
Yes, in fact, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Do you still remember the
Okay,
question?
okay. Yeah, sorry, man. I was just a bit backtracking. So, look,
Okay.
from my perspective, it is more like your purpose sometimes is not just a singled out purpose where you've got one solid purpose in life where you say,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to do A, B, C, D, or I'm here to do A. But you can have
Mm,
multiple purposes, which is also very
mm,
important to acknowledge. You know, I may be in the, for example, in the elevator industry. One of my
mm-hmm.
purposes in my life really is to lead,
Mm-hmm.
take the company to greater heights, but at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, in the interpersonal level with
Mm-hmm.
people, I feel I'm there to empower people, not only on the business environment, but also on a personal perspective, in the personal environment, also on a spiritual environment.
Mm, mm,
So for
mm,
me,
mm,
and as I said, for me, it's still a gradual process. Although I'm at a position where I can say, look, I'm maybe 80% clear of my purpose in life, right? And there's still
mm-hmm.
certain areas that are still going to be exposed. So the more I get
Mm-hmm.
exposure to certain things, the more I learn to say, hey, you know, these are my capabilities, and does it align with my purposes as well?
Mm,
And
mm,
one really needs to look at, my purpose is to be a doctor, but
mm,
you cannot, do you qualify to be a doctor? Are your
mm.
grades good enough for you to be a doctor? Yes,
Yeah,
you care about people,
yeah,
but you really qualify to be there. So
yeah,
again,
yeah.
looking at my purposes has also helped me to uncover my capabilities, which is very important to me. Knowing what I can do, knowing what I can't do, knowing what I can improve on. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
those are my perspectives on that case.
Okay, okay, okay. So, like I think most of us follow certain template, when it comes to just living life altogether, and then purpose becomes something that you pursue at a later stage when you've accomplished all those smaller nyana goals that were once big goals, right? Soon as you get married, you get the big job, you get the house, you get the cars, and now it's just like, okay, now these are just material possessions, right? And then you realize that also your job is somewhat of a tool that helped you to get these possessions, but deep down inside, you are not fulfilled, right? And I suppose fulfillment speaks to success. Okay. So how would you guys define success now as opposed to before you started pursuing your purpose, or before you walked into your purpose? What's the difference now? Is your definition for success, is it still the same, or has it changed?
Look, maybe I can jump in very quickly.
Sure, sure.
My definition for success is quite simple. It's all
Yeah.
about winning. It's
Winning.
about winning.
Okay.
Whatever you
Yeah.
do, if you win, you're successful. If you're spending time with
Right.
your family and you're winning and you're doing it
Mm-hmm.
right, and you can see the fruits of it or the result at the end of the day, you've
Mm-hmm.
won. For me, it's
Mm-hmm.
all about winning. The perspective has definitely changed. In
Right.
the beginning, winning for me was me achieving my goals, me
Mm-hmm.
banging those results, getting those marks, passing the interview, getting the good grades, getting
Yeah.
that good
Yeah.
job. But now for
Mm.
me, success is it's not an individual thing, but it's the people
Mm.
around me. We need to win together. We need to succeed together. For me,
Mm.
that's what success is. Being able to say, hey, look, I shared some knowledge with that person. This person is here today
Mm.
because I helped them to get to
Mm.
where they are, not in a boastful manner, but in a manner to say, look, it's not almost like job security, if you want to call it that way. You don't share knowledge with people because you're afraid that they'll be better than you. But the fact that you can help share information and help develop others and so they can
Mm.
be better as well as equally at doing something. So for me, that's what success is about now. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
perspective has
Yeah.
definitely changed from an individual perspective to a more of the people that are around me, people that I'm closely
Right.
associated with. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what success is for me currently. Yeah.
Okay. Azanda, what about you?
Okay.
You still want the bag or has it changed now? You just like, I want the bag and
It has definitely changed. It has definitely changed,
yeah.
I think growing up it was more I thought I'd be successful if I'm gonna tell you my
Mm.
exact dream, like honest to God,
Mm.
guys. My exact dream was success is me getting good grades, passing my
Mm.
matric, going to college,
Mm.
finishing college, getting a nice job, a proper job with good
Right.
money, carrying the bag,
Yeah,
and
that's the
working hard
template,
in
right?
my
That's the template we all follow.
and
Yeah.
for me, the simplest was having a penthouse and a
Mm.
sport. And that was like it. Then I would have fulfilled my purpose. I would have been successful,
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
my mind. And for now, I honestly uh, have changed. My perspective
Mm.
has definitely changed. It
Mm-hmm.
just did a 360 degrees.
Mm.
I think in my life, because I found that there is something greater than wanting only materialistic possessions. I think when I grew up, I realized anyone can get these things. You don't have to have good grades. You don't have to have,
Mm.
not to say they're
Yeah.
not important,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And I came to realize that, you know what, it's just because they have these things, they're not successful, you
Mm.
know.
Mm.
And because in the journey, it's never been as easy as the template says it should be. The
Mm.
hardships that I faced had a lot of failure in them, a
Mm.
lot of
Mm.
label, labeling to say, oh, you have this diploma, but you're not a successful civil engineer. Hey,
Mm.
oh,
Mm.
you have the qualification, but you don't have a fancy house or a nice house or a car and a this and a
Yeah.
that. You
Yeah.
still live
Yeah.
that living, you still doing this and that and the other.
Right.
So for
Yeah.
me, success has always been linked to understanding that, hey, you know what, I may have failed in the eyes of the
Mm.
template that was drawn to me by my
Mm.
community, but I have succeeded in overcoming all of these
Mm.
emotional battles, spiritual
Mm-hmm.
battles, mental battles. So success has a lot to do for me. It has a lot
Mm-hmm.
to do
Mm-hmm.
with overcome. Exactly, I think it's exactly what Phumlani is saying. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I've overcome so much to get to this position. It's
Mm-hmm.
exciting to see myself here as compared to seeing myself um in 6 feet under, because I would have died
Mm-hmm.
because of depression, because I would have died
Yeah.
because of anxiety and panic
Yeah.
attacks, other, physical illnesses and all of those things.
Mm. Mm.
And this is really now that I've grown to be the woman that I am becoming. It's more for
Mm.
holistic
Right.
approach.
Yeah, yeah,
How
yeah.
much am I
Yeah.
overcoming in
Yeah.
different milestones, in different seasons of my life,
Right.
in different years? When I'm 33,
Mm-hmm.
what did I overcome? I think, when the year is ending, for me, it's always that a time of the
Mm.
year where
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was 33 last year. This year I'm 34. What
Mm.
have I overcome? And I sit back and I think, and I'm like, wow. And because I do vision boards every year,
Mm-hmm.
I go
Mm-hmm.
back to the vision board and I'm like, tick, tick, tick. Wow. I did 3 out of 10. I didn't
Wow.
succeed. The 7 were not
Yeah.
exactly how I planned, but the 3, I made
Mm.
it. Let me not put
Mm.
pressure on myself. I overcame so much to
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
make it, to have these 3 items ticked out of my vision board. Hey,
Mm.
overcame. I'm successful. I'm a
Mm.
baddie.
Mm.
I'm like,
Mm.
I'm the girl. I'm the girl I think I
Yeah.
am.
Yeah.
It gives me
Yeah.
that encouragement. It gives me that motivation. And
Mm.
it's also something that one of my sisters said to me. She said, she for us in our family, we always
Mm-hmm.
look up to her and we're like, oh no, she has it all. She's
Yeah.
got it all now.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's 39 and she's got it all already before 40.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
and she came to me and she said, but Azanda, I don't think I have I have been successful though. Like, what do you mean, child? Look
Sure.
at you
Okay.
now. Look at you
Yeah.
now. But no, I have not been successful, Azanda, because
Mm.
there are aspects of my mental health, my emotional being that I have not
Mm.
conquered. I have not
Okay.
overcome.
Okay.
And I'm like, phew. And
Mm.
it struck me so bad. I felt bad for her. And she's
Mm.
like, yes, because I mean, look at you. You've overcome
Mm.
those things. You can
Mm.
you can sit in a room with someone who hates your guts and
Mm.
still be kind enough to
Mm. Mm.
give them a tissue if they're bleeding
Mm.
to death or something.
Mm.
I won't.
Mm.
I won't. I cannot.
Mm. Mm.
My heart is
Mm.
still has a lot of vengefulness in it, and I haven't
Mm.
overcome that. And I have kids. I don't want to see my kids to see the vengefulness, of my
Mm.
heart. So
Mm.
I really started to really appreciate, the successes that I
Mm.
would see as little successes, but
Mm.
I started to recognize that, what, God has been putting me in those positions so that I can succeed
Mm.
even more.
Mm.
The other
Mm.
materialistic things that we see as blessings, to own you know, your own
Mm.
big ranch or your own big farm, and
Mm.
live the dream, or own property, millions or
Mm.
hundreds of that is just things that are materialistic that will gradually get to you, if
Mhm.
again, if you are meant to have them. So for me, I
Mm.
started letting go of the world's perception of success and started
Mhm.
grabbing different concepts, which had a lot to do with what God is telling me.
Mm.
Since have a particular calling,
Mm.
would it make sense for you to live lavishly? Because
Mm.
if you'd be lavish, honestly, you'd forget about everything. Look, if I give
Mm.
you something as small as this, a small amount of money, you literally
Yeah.
just forget. You zone out. You zone out. I want you to go step by step, not just to be
Mm.
boom. One day you wake up, you have it all.
Mm.
So it's a
Mhm.
learning curve as I go along. You learn that this is how I handle my success.
Right. Right.
I
Wouldn't
don't
it
think,
be nice if you literally woke up and boom, you had it all? I
well,
pray for those
that would be
days.
amazing. That would be amazing.
That would be
Wow.
super amazing.
Everyone is
That would
like
be
playing the
super.
lotto, I think, for that reason, for
Yeah,
that
I
exact.
think so. I think so.
Yeah,
That's
everyone is chasing super baits, and they're like, if I would
mm,
win 22
mm.
million, it's gone. It's over. My
It's
poverty.
yeah, it's over. It's over. No, I think Hey, for me, I didn't have any definition of success growing up. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was just listen, let me get a good job, have a nice life. That's it. Whether you think I'm successful or I'm not, that's your business. This is what I want. I never really thought about are you going to be successful or not, right? And I think that one thing that I really wanted was just money. I wanted money and I wanted to be
Mm,
independent. I got the
yeah.
money, I got to be independent. And I was just back to Pumlani's points, like, okay, is this all? Is this all I can do? Is this it? And I really started thinking about it, like, what is it exactly, Lihle, that you would say um you would pinpoint and say, because of one, two, three, I'm successful, right? And for me, what changed was number one, if I have good health, if I have basically my definition of success encompasses four things, right? It's good health, good relationships, wisdom to face challenges, spiritual growth, and most of all, money, guys. I'm sorry. If you have the other four and you are broke, what's the point? What's the point of good health, good relationships, wisdom, and spiritual growth if I'm still going to be begging for bread? For me, that doesn't make sense, right? Um, Kumlani mentioned that, for him, it's all about winning and it's all about not just winning, but winning also with the people around him. Ne? So this is the question. How has purpose influenced your relationships or how you go about relationships or how you go about choosing the people that are supposed to be in your life, choosing a spouse, so on and so forth? Because I think for me, I dated to get married, right? But then because I didn't know what the purpose of marriage was, I never really allowed myself to go into marriage without knowing the purpose of marriage. Pumlani, what's your take on that? Azanda will join us. I think she has network issues. She'll join us as we go along.
Yeah, you mentioned quite a number of pointers there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so
Your
look,
relationships,
first one,
basically. How have your relationships changed since you were like, Yazin, I need to pursue this purpose thing?
look, so for me, I guess I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't do what they call friends. I don't do friends,
Say that again. You don't do
friendships.
friends. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, this is just me. I mean,
Yeah.
again, I'm not against anybody who does. So for me, the
Sure.
first thing is the people that surround me, it's all about adding value.
Mm,
If you're gonna be in my life in whatever shape or
mm,
form, you need to
mm,
add value into my life and vice versa. If I'm gonna be in your life, I must add
mm-hmm,
value into your life too. And if
mm,
if you don't add value to mine,
mm,
long and short, I don't need. And if also I don't add any value to yours, I'm
mm,
wasting your time. So literally, that's
mm,
how I've been looking at life, and that is how really it has
mm.
shaped my thoughts in terms of relationships, people that I get to
Right.
know.
Yeah.
Look, I interact with anybody,
Mm,
but as a person speaks and you interact with them, you can see if they can add value to your life or you can add value to theirs. Some people you
mm,
meet people that you totally different, opposites.
mm,
And
mm,
no matter how nice this person is, you can see that,
mm,
you won't be
mm,
able to add value to their life because of the personality that they withhold, right?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then you make those decisions to say, look, I don't want to have such relationships. And it's probably one of the things that really shaped me into this friendship thing. Say, look,
Yeah.
for people that I know, people that
Yeah.
we close, if I need certain information, I'll get it. And if they need certain
Mm-hmm.
things from me, they'll be able to get it. Again, it comes to adding value. If it
Mm,
doesn't add value, it doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to
mm.
be anything
Yeah.
tangible. It can be
Yeah.
advice. It can be, helping you distress to
Right.
see things
Right.
differently. I mean, a
Mm,
person who's a cleaner can teach you more than a person who's a CEO. How about maybe
mm,
interpersonal skills? How do you relate to other people? Respecting people
mm,
and stuff like that. It's not necessarily
mm,
gauging people where they are in their life, but it's really about adding value for me.
mm,
And those are the people that I want to that I interact with. Again, if I can converse with you and
Mm.
you're willing to listen, and obviously at the same time you share some information with me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to be in that relationship with you.
Right.
You can put
Yeah.
it in a friendship, but I always said I don't believe in friendship, but you can call it
Right.
acquaintances,
Mm.
but people that really have got your back. Because nowadays, again, you want the bag. I mean,
Mm.
how are you gonna, if you want a car, how are you gonna help you, you know, making relations with people who drive bicycles?
Mm. Mm.
Again, the goals don't align, the thinking doesn't align. So for me, it's all about people that I can align with,
Mm-hmm.
people that I can interact with, people that I can understand, people that can understand me, and of course
Mm.
accept me for who I am, and I also accept them for who they
Mm.
are, and again, people
Mm.
that show potential as well. Because remember, it's a give and take. Some people you can learn from them, and some people can learn from you. So long as if they that balance and meeting each other halfway, for me, those are the driving elements in terms of people that I keep close to myself, and obviously the
Mm.
people that don't come close to myself.
Mm, Yeah, no, I think purpose really just streamlines the. But let me ask you this question: is this something that changed after you found your purpose, Phumlani, or you just always had this thing of, you know what, I don't do friendships. It's I just don't
I
do
think,
friendships forward it. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So for me, it was, as I said, it's all about, it's all gradual for me.
Yeah,
You hang around
yeah,
with people. Eventually, you're thinking, do we align? You know, and
okay.
for example, if my purpose is, and maybe a God-given purpose, maybe be a leader in
Mm,
the church, and things like that.
mm,
If I hang around people who don't believe in God at all, stuff like that.
mm,
So again, for me, it's been all
mm,
developmental progression, meeting people along the way, seeing that, look,
mm,
does this align with me? Does it not align with me? Sometimes maybe
mm.
not in the name of purpose,
Yeah,
but in terms of
yeah,
alignment, to say, can we align? Can it
yeah,
work?
yeah,
You know, um, you know, does our lifestyle match? Are you
yeah.
good influence or are you bad influence? So
Mm,
maybe under that banner, not necessarily a purpose, but obviously the more you learn about your purpose, then the more you want people around you that are going to
yeah.
help you to fulfill your purpose.
Right, 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 right. Okay. You
So,
mentioned that. Yeah, go for it.
mhm. Yeah, so for me, that's really how life has been.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I've had friends before, and
Right.
some of them have let me down,
Yeah.
and it's because again the alignment wasn't there. We want different things. I want friendship. They don't want friendship. I want this. They don't want
Mm,
that. And
mm,
as you start identifying things that people like and what they don't like and what you like, it's
mm-hmm.
probably the time that you slowly developing into finding your purpose. Is this what I want?
Mm-hmm.
Is this the
Mm,
relationship I want to have? Do I really
mm,
want friends? Do I really need them? Do they add
mm,
value to my life or they cause more harm to me and stuff like that? So yeah, so that's really
mm,
how I've been looking at life. And in a couple of years, man, that I told you the spent things again with all the maintenance that really comes with it. Do I
mm-hmm.
want to maintain friendships? Yeah,
So basically, you do believe in friendships, just not in the conventional sense of this is my friend.
yes,
It's a value
yes.
add type of thing. Okay, got it,
Very
got
type
it,
of
got it.
thing.
It's a
Very
value
type
add.
of interaction.
Yeah, I think as you grow older, actually all friendships tend to take that direction where you just like you said, if it doesn't add value to my life, let's not waste each other's time, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a bad person. It's just that in some aspects, or rather the most important aspects, we are not aligned over there. So we are not gonna waste each other's lives, right?
Yeah, and then
Pumla,
again it comes to this conventional name that people use as a circles.
yeah,
They
yeah,
have a
yeah,
definition for circles. It's people that have got their backs. It's people that they
yeah.
are aligned with. People that you know,
Mm,
if we are going, we are going,
mm,
and we are going for
mm,
that. sometimes it's not always about fun. Sometimes it's about education. To say, hey, let's go get
Mm,
our degrees, let's go get our masters,
mm,
let's go get,
mm.
and that's the circle basically. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Phumlani, would you say that maybe like, did your mother pinpoint certain things about you when you were young and said, no, this one might be a police, the way he's acting, or this one might be a lawyer, or something like that when you were growing up? And maybe the comments that she passed towards you based on your behavior made you think that maybe I could go in this direction, maybe not. Or you were just on your own when it came to finding your purpose and what you came here on earth for.
Look, for me, I'll be honest, my mom didn't play
Mm-hmm.
a role in me in terms of identifying my purpose,
Mm-hmm.
but instead, I think what she did was she just let me be the person that I wanted to be.
Right,
Of
right,
course,
right.
supported with the guidance to say, look, these are the principles of life. You need to respect it. But there's those basic principles that we learn from our
Mm-hmm.
parents. For
Mm,
example, don't go home until late at night. You need to be home by 6 o'clock. And those are the things that
mm-hmm.
really shape, not necessarily in terms of instruction to say, look, looking at your behavior, don't you want to be a doctor? Don't you want to be a
Mm,
policeman? Whatever the case is, no, no. In that sense, no. But
mm,
it's that upbringing that is, it played a very vital role. I promise you.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Upbringing, the environment shapes your thoughts, it shapes who you are,
Mm,
who you're
mm,
going to be, shapes how you
mm,
think, shapes how you look at life. I
mm-hmm.
mean, you look at it, for example, you say growing up, you wanted to secure the bag, right?
Mm,
If you grow in an environment where the bag is already there, the bag doesn't
mm.
become priority for you
Right,
because this thing is
right.
allowed.
Yeah.
And like education as well. I mean, everybody's a lawyer, a doctor, or whatever. For you, it's not here nor there, it's nothing
Mm,
exciting for you. So your environment
mm,
really shapes your purpose in life to say, hey,
mm-hmm.
I come from this background, I need to go make that money.
Mm,
I need to go make that difference out there.
mm,
I need to do ABC. Again, then your purpose gets shaped in that sense.
mm.
So
Okay. And you mentioned that you have two daughters, right?
one boy, one girl, it's a pigeon thing.
One boy, one girl. Oh, that's
Yeah.
nice. That's really nice. And
Boy is
so
nine, the
so
girl is five. So,
okay. Would you say there's like a particular thing that you are doing to help them to get to their purpose or to find their purpose earlier, or you are just gonna take the same approach as your mother? Because I think Black parents, that's what we do, right? We just like, do you, we'll take you to school, we'll do whatever it is that we need to do in order for you to get an education. But when it comes to purpose, they are not really there because I suppose they didn't have much no one taught them about those things. They only had, it's either you're a nurse or you're a teacher, right? Growing up. So for them, it's like those are the only things that we know. But you guys have way more opportunities. And then they look at purpose in terms of profession, right? And I know my parents didn't really play a big role in terms of my purpose, right? But the only thing that they did was they came to the competitions, the public speaking competitions that I was a part of, but to them they didn't really see it as a purpose thing, they just saw it as a hobby. So are there certain
yeah.
things that your kids are doing right now and you are like, okay, this might be it, or you are taking the same approach as your mom?
Look, at this stage, I obviously I try and shape my kids in
Mm,
terms of upbringing, how they need to be looking at life, respecting
mm-hmm,
people, and so forth.
mm-hmm,
So at this stage, I don't want to impose a purpose on them,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
just because they seem good at doing certain things.
mm-hmm,
And then that becomes my purpose on them.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
But they need to discover themselves who they are, but I need to
mm-hmm,
guide them and create an environment where they can fully explore
mm-hmm,
who they are and their
mm-hmm,
capabilities.
mm-hmm,
My kid, when he was 5, he wanted to be a lawyer. Now
mm-hmm.
he wants to be a doctor. I cannot impose any of it, but at least the
Yeah.
thinking is in the right direction to say, I want to be
Mm-hmm,
something.
Mm, mm,
Go and be that something that you want to be.
mm, mm, mm. You know what I think, ne? Personally, when I think it's unfair to ask kids what's your purpose, because you find that even grown adults don't even know what their purpose is. So how would kids know, you know? And
Yeah, yeah.
um upon discovering my purpose, I then started looking at things in purposefully. Let me put it that way. So if I want to get married, what's the purpose of the marriage? What are we going to do? What are we going to accomplish? Because if we get married for the sake of getting married, I don't think the success of the marriage is guaranteed. Right. And so it's the same as when I decide that, okay, I want to have more kids, what's the purpose behind that? And personally, I think when we ask God for kids, let's ask them, okay, you're going to give me this child, but what's the purpose of this child on this earth? Apart from them being a part of my family, what's the purpose of this child on this earth? So that then I can help them to move in the direction that has to do with their purpose. You know, I think one of the things that I've seen a lot in Phumlani is people will go into this direction and they find out, no, this is not for me. And I think it's a waste of time. And also sometimes it's just a waste of energy because you get discouraged, right? Like, okay, I've tried this, I've tried that. Now I'm discouraged. I don't know what else that I need to do. Okay. So, but anyway, yeah, you want to say something?
Yeah, no, no. So no, no, no. I fully agree. And again, I think, in all discussions, we
Mm,
obviously we all have our different definitions. But
right.
again, if I hear you, again, you go back to what I mentioned in the beginning to say
Mm,
why.
why?
Why are we
Basically,
getting
why?
married? Really answer the
Mm,
why. You cannot find the
mm,
why. Again, it becomes very difficult, and you sort of
mm,
question the success of whatever you're trying
mm.
to do. So it's very
Mm,
good. And again,
mm,
I think it's,
mm.
of course, different perspectives, but the thinking is sort of
Right,
almost in the
right.
same house, which is also something that I
Mm.
appreciate.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. Pumlani, any last words as we wrap up? We're a little over time. Any last words on this topic, purpose? What can you tell people about maybe finding their purpose, the importance of finding their purpose, and walking in your purpose, basically?
Look, I'm going to mention something that I haven't mentioned throughout my discussion. For
Mm-hmm.
you to find a purpose, uh, very important for me is having a relationship with God and knowing who God is. One,
Mm-hmm.
because at the end of the day, my life is centered around God, who God is, what role
Mm-hmm.
He plays in my life, and what role I play in the kingdom of God. And for me to know myself, always
Mm,
ask God in my prayer and say, God, who am I? What are my
mm,
capabilities?
mm,
Show me, show me the way, show me what my capabilities are, show me my purpose in life, help me
mm,
meet the right people in my life that are going to help me
mm.
achieve
Yeah,
and
yeah,
fully understand my purpose. So God, above
yeah,
everything else, above the education, above the family, and above
yeah.
everything else that just comes into play and works for the
Mm.
good.
No, thank you for that, Pumlani. Guys, unfortunately, Azanda is struggling with network. Okay, she's having some network issues, so she won't be able to come back. But she had some pretty good insights also, and we just want to say thank you to her and thank you to you, Pumlani, for being a part of this conversation. Yeah, guys, we're back next week, not next week, next month with another thought-provoking conversation here on YouTube and on Facebook. If you are on YouTube, please like, share, and subscribe so that everyone else that needs to know about purpose or wants to get opinions on this topic, they can also be part of it. Basically, just in the comment section. We just want to thank you again, Pumlani, for being here. We want to thank Azanda for being part of the conversation, and yeah. Thank you guys, and bye bye. We'll see you next month with another thought provoking conversation. Cheers, guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.